All right, guys, get ready for this because we're about to beat a dead horse, and I think I'm going to come hammering down on this time and time and time again until people understand this. The most important attributes in Football Manager for players are pace and acceleration. It's been this way, at the very least, since FM20. I think it's been this way, though, perhaps even going back to the very beginning of the game. If you try it out, as I'm trying it out now, you will discover that players who are fast, who are lacking in other attributes, end up doing very well if they have good pace and good acceleration. They will play better than you think because they will get themselves in positions to do things, whereas normally they wouldn't. This has been the case in Football Manager for years. I showed you a couple of days ago evidence that comes again from FM Arena that this is true. Well, let's take a look here at another post. This is a much older post here on this forum, and let's see what they have to say about this. So we have this right over here to my left on your screen, and here we have some interesting internal testing. It looks like acceleration and pace attributes are among the most important player attributes in FM21. That's what we looked at before. Other player attributes are important. Now, I want to make that clear, right? If you just have guys with pace and acceleration and everything else is bad, they're not going to be a world beater, right? Even if it's at like 20, right? You kind of need something else in there as well other than just pace and acceleration. But pace and acceleration will make up for deficiencies in other areas, right? So they're looking at one tactic. If you look at the table, it gets 2.114 matches, points per match. But we get different results if we decrease the acceleration and pace attributes of the shadow strikers and wingers by 3 points, so going from 16 to 13. So we'll take a quick look here and see. So as you decrease that, all of a sudden, they do worse, right? That's what's happening here. I'm assuming that this is, I don't know if this is either Team A or Team B. This isn't very well written out and explained. I guess we're playing in different leagues here. I think that's what's going on. But the points per match end up dropping from 2.114 to 1.657 as despite having a tactic that's been tested and that's been tried and so on and so forth, because you took away the acceleration and pace. So if you then decrease the acceleration and pace of the inverted wingbacks by 3 points from 16 to 13 and try it again, you get worse results. All of a sudden, you're a mid-level side. Right? Sort of mid-level right down here as well. And then, once again, mid-level or you're not up at the top. Right? And that drops your points per match again from 1.657 to 1.467. This is an old way of testing. This is kind of an old way of looking at this, but this is the point that I really want to make, right? If you do extensive testing in Football Manager, if you play around with stuff, you're going to find that pace and acceleration are the attributes that are most important, and that the difference of 1 point, the difference between like a 16 and a 17 is humongous in terms of your ability to play well. You will also notice that the best players in the game tend to have good pace and acceleration. So look at this. Mohamed Salah, and this is an FM21, who is with Liverpool here. What does he have? He has an 18 for acceleration and an 18 for pace, right? Now, the rest of this stuff does matter. People who will tell you that whatever, finishing doesn't matter, it kind of does matter at a certain level. But it's acceleration and pace that is the most important thing. Right? Looking at Sadio Mane, also 18-18, right? So for me in my Augsburg save, this is the sort of player I'm looking for. I want to get a player who's got high pace and acceleration at every position, right? Doesn't matter if he's a center back or if he's up front or whatever it is. We want to make sure that we have players who are hitting that 18-18, 19-19, stuff like that. It's not easy to find, and the reason why is because those players tend to be some of the best players in the game, right? We can go through this and look. We can look at this, for example. Many of you may have seen this screen before as in terms of like which attributes people think are the most important. This is somewhat helpful and somewhat useful. Even for goalkeepers, acceleration is somewhat important. But you will see here that acceleration and pace, again, tend to be among the strongest. Goalkeepers are kind of a special bunch. We'll talk about them a little bit later. There are some things that are somewhat important, some things maybe not quite as important. But the weight of this attribute table, I believe, is slightly different from that. And what I have seen, again, from my personal experience is that pace and acceleration is incredibly important and seems to be increasingly important in Football Manager. Now, I haven't quite tested this myself. It would be interesting if somebody had a tactic that was not sort of an attacking tactic, instead defending, to see if low pace and acceleration might somehow be useful. As far as I'm concerned, though, in my game, if there's anybody who has a pace acceleration rating of like less than 15 for each, for one or both of the attributes, I'm not even interested. It doesn't even matter if he's 16, right? I don't care. I need people who are fast. We need to come in fast, and then we can improve and try to become a little bit faster. Once you fall below that 15 mark, I mean, you're nothing to me. And that's really, I believe, the way that we should be looking at the game. That's the way that you need to min and max stuff. I'll come back to you a little bit later with a little bit more information. But as you look around, as you look into this, you will see that the testing that has been done and the things people are looking at point towards pace and acceleration being the most important thing. And it's not this other stuff I keep hearing about, right? It's not like strength. Strength, I mean, whatever. Difference in strength of 5-6 points is not going to make a huge difference. But with pace and acceleration, a difference of 1 point can be the difference between victory and defeat. And if you don't believe that, go watch my save with Augsburg and you'll see. Talk to you later. Bye.